Uncle Vernon, you old tease. Listen to this. Vernon Dursley. Look, living was one thing, but Joe just has such a way with words. Ooh, and here's my favorite part. The most prophetic of prophecies. And every child in our world will know his name. I wonder when she wrote that line if she knew just how true it would become. Look, Jo gave me everything, and I'd like to tell her story. So I borrowed this time tuner from a friend. Let me take you back. Set the scene. 1993, somewhere in the UK. What, like Call Me By Your Name modes that intro? I don't think even I can be here, like, legally, like I'm gonna draw the line at mild plagiarism. Also, great movie, but do we need a sequel, I mean?
Harry, focus. Honestly, do I have to do everything myself?
Right! Thank you, Hermione, I'll get back to it.
Boy who lived my Azkaban can't complete a single task without my help.
Yes, thank you, Hermione, I'm sure you've better things to be doing, a country to minister. Now, where was I?
Beginning your great homage to our creator by stealing intellectual property and, as usual, musing on things completely irrelevant to the plot.
Got it, Granger! Off you go! Now look, we're limited on time and the train will be here any minute, so we'll just jump in. But there she is, my Jo.
Jessica, your sippy cup. Your hair's getting covered in milk. Excuse me, madam, which platform for the 11:37 to Edinburgh? I know it's on the bleeding ticket, but as you can see, I have my hands full.
Oh, well, it's right over there, miss. By platform 9 3/4.
9 3/4. That's neither clever nor amusing.
Oh, no, but if you look, you'd think it should be at platform 9, but really it's a little bit closer to platform 10 than 9. About 3/4 of the way through. So if you look, you might think it's at platform 10, when really it's at platform 9. So I thought it'd be better to give you the more precise location. That location, of course, being platform 9 3/4.
Ma'am, I'm going to miss my train.
All right then, 3 pillars over.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
You don't mention it.
Oh, Jessica, your hair's everywhere. Goodness me. I don't mean to be snippy. I should be pleased. 4 hours to write. Of course, I can never seem to think of anything worth writing about. Oh, sorry. Lost in thought.
That's all right. I used to do some of my best thinking riding around on trains.
Give it back! Awful things happen to wizards who meddle with time, Harry.
All aboard! 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 All aboard!
Jessica, stop getting your hair in your cup. Board, 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 board. There's a boy under the cupboard, no, under the stairs, inside the cupboard. mother as she watches from heaven. And he's 12, no 15, no 11. Yes, that's it. He's on a train on his way to school, and he's... What's his name? He's he who must be named. Well... Names always start with H. I like a name that starts with H. Harold, Hugh, and Hamilton, Henry, Holden, Harrison. I cannot settle on which one. Something strong but also fun. This boy could be extraordinary. But Jessica, now your milk is full of hair. Something that we pride as Brits, aside from rugby and our wits, our long and vibrant history, medieval times especially. Make this boy a true Queen's man, give him an ancient profession. Butler, Fisher, Archer, Smith, Shepherd, Brewer, Miller, Cook. Now it's wrong, my darling daughter. Oh dear, someone open a window, it smells like pot. You see, this boy, he is no mortal. Muggle. He comes to us from another portal. Port Key. And yes, of course, he is a warlock. No, he's a wizard. And he also can converse with lizards. No, snakes. Diane.
Dear sister. And this must be Jessica.
Yes, this is she. She misses home, but I know she'll love you.
No. Exposition is my job, Joe. Come on, give me a chance to tell this story. Joe went to live with her sister... Oh, that's better. Joe went to live with his sister Diane for the foreseeable future after a messy divorce from her first husband, Georges Aranchi. It was a toxic and tumultuous affair, but Joe never regretted it. She got Jessica out of the deal.
But it's all right. We made up the sofa, and the kitchen's through there, bathroom's down the hall. It's not much, but it's home.
It's brilliant. Thank you. I can't thank you enough.
Of course.
So, where's your charming husband?
He wanted to be here, but he had to close down the cafe tonight.
Oh,
It's good to see you. I wish you were under better circumstances.
any more than you, I bet.
You always said you were never tortured enough to be a writer, that not enough had happened to you.
Only a fool romanticizes poverty and depression. I suppose I was a fool.
I didn't mean that.
Besides, only a fool majors in classics.
You know, Mom and Dad genuinely had no idea until they read your name off at graduation.
The first of many disappointments, I'm sure.
Come on, Joe. You graduated with top marks. Your teaching work and time at Amnesty alone are impressive, and besides, only you get to decide what constitutes success or failure.
In that case, I'm the biggest failure I know.
Joe.
An impossibly brief marriage. Over. No career. Basically homeless. Oh, and a single mother too. Every fear I've ever had, that Mum ever had for me, all of it has come true.
I miss her too.
Joe and Diane's mum died in 1990 after having multiple sclerosis for 10 years. There's a reason I'm often saved by a mother's love in my life.
We should get to bed. I have to open the cafe early tomorrow. I'll leave you to get settled.
I don't know if I can do this, Jessica. This soft chest much gentler than the sleep from which I must wake. This shell of me in hell would be a welcome sweet escape. It's like my soul is being removed. Demolition has been approved. And I can't breathe. The air is frozen around me. I can't see. These horrid demons surround me. I'm demented inside. All my tears have been cried. I have nothing left here to give, except, well, maybe a boy who lived.
Here you go, miss. One tall, blonde caramel macchiato with soy milk. Several months went by, and Jo threw herself into finishing the Philosopher's Stone. Without any money for child support, she needed a writing routine that accommodated Jessica. After visiting her sister and brother-in-law at their cafe, she soon realized that Jessica easily fell asleep to the white noise of clanging teacups and busy customers. She began writing there every day until soon she had a working manuscript. She sent it around to publishers and editors everywhere, hoping for a corner-shade of interest.
Harry, please, don't be so pretentious, acting like you've remade yourself into this liberal intellectual. And it's Corniche, not Cornishaw.
Making fun of me for learning, are we? She who lives in a glass castle should not throw resurrection stones.
Harry James Potter, stop referencing contemporary Muggle literature.
I'm sorry I didn't have time to take up flights of fancy or be a carefree know-it-all in my 20s. I was too busy recovering from the physical and psychological trauma of my youth.
Oh, how does Ginny put up with this?
Unlike you, she's happy for me that the worst parts of my life are over. Now I'm just going to sit back, read a book, and enjoy a passion project or two. Such as this one. Now, where were we? Jo was able to set up a meeting with a publisher whose name I'm not at liberty to disclose, but it rhymes with sharper stolons.
Miss Rowling, given that you're unrepresented, it will be most difficult for us to prioritize something so experimental.
Experimental. It's a children's book.
Look, the children's market is a pretty reliable one, but there are trends that affect it. Frankly, male protagonists are outmoded, boarding school novels are overdone, and your novel is far too long.
Yes, well, despite how outdated it may seem.
We have a formula. Invented words plus a whacking of pals equals copies flying off the shelves.
And I think you'll find mine to fit that formula if you would just
Miss
read
Rowling,
a sample.
Miss Rowling, you wrote in your cupboards that a young boy is physically abused by his relatives after the violent death of his own parents and his own attempted murder.
Yes, but
I'm sorry, but that is far too dark to be considered cut-and-dried children's literature. It will take much more effort on your part to see this published. Besides, I do think you have more pressing matters at hand.
I'm sorry.
I just mean that, given your situation, It might be best to focus your efforts elsewhere.
My situation, I see. I don't see how that's any of your...
Joe.
Just a moment. Concern, and may I add,
Joe.
complete...
It's George.
Good day, Miss Rowling.
Hello? I don't know when you can see her. Because I won't come to you. Well, you're welcome to visit, but... Because I have neither the time nor the money. I hardly think that's fair. Goodbye.
What did he want?
You know, it really doesn't matter. He just takes and never shuts up about football.
Is it about football?
No. But I'm still peeved about that. Christ, he would just watch mindlessly for hours, completely neglecting us. It needs a sport.
I don't follow.
Every world, every period in history, every culture, they all have a sporting ritual of some kind.
Yes, but
And if they want a sport, I'll give them a sport. I'd like to pulverize them senseless with this and call it a game.
It began as a way to beat men?
Calling me surprised, you don't know what's happening in your own story.
You've become a lot harsher since getting the minister's chair.
And somehow you've gone soft as an oar. What, too many Death Eaters want an autograph?
Come on, Joe. Use your imagination. You're better than that.
You're right. I don't want to beat them. They'll heal. I want to infuriate their very sensibilities.
Oh, I love this part.
Shh, me too. This is my bloody life.
Both men and women play on the same team.
Does it hurt knowing Ginny's a better player?
Toss it. You can't compare us. Seeking is an entirely different skill set.
3 separate balls, all distinct from each other. In fact, 2 separate games as one.
I don't follow.
Exactly. And neither will they. It's a sport, but unlike the warring rituals they're used to, it's a sport that's rendered entirely irrelevant if, simultaneously, a team member playing an entirely different and much less exciting game wins.
She thinks seeking is less interesting.
Obviously. Through the hoops in the wind, to make a lane, to score a goal.
It's co-ed, of course, we share the pitch, side by side, a wizard and witch.
4 balls instead of
But
1.
catch the last, it means you're done. I'm sorry, I just couldn't help myself. Look, it's a miniature hollows.
This is one of the century's greatest seekers! Skill, position, my Azkaban.
Coming from a woman who dated a seeker.
Yes, but I didn't marry one. He's a keeper.
And the chasers swoop down to catch the quaff before the ground, while the keepers keep them out.
Of course, they'll have to make sure the points are in snitch range, otherwise catching will make them lose.
To play without the seeker skill, as we lean in for the kill, the net will be a strategy. A player who's as fast as me.
Oh, this will get there, goat.
So the next time he calls me her bitch, go fetch.
I can
Detach
the golden snitch.
Jo received rejection after rejection. It went on for months. She began to wonder if she would ever become a published author. All that mattered was Jessica and finishing the book. But even with her focus on her priorities, the darkness crept back in.
But you know, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times, if only one remembers to turn on the light.
Look in the mirror, Jessica. It's Grandma. And it's you and me. We have a house. Maybe a pet or two. And every day after school, I pick you up and go to the park. I, of course, am a published author. And we're quite comfortable. My time is my own. And every day I read to you. The only monsters that can find us are in books. And I'm safe. I'm so sick of it. Yearning for the thick of it. Waiting for life to submit to the plans I have. I'm just tired of expecting joy and perfect love. Here is my heart and she's enough. And yet I must admit I'm exhausted of all the rules and pointless markers, esoteric notes for starters, all the can'ts unless you this, the not for single mothers miss. How my heart is an abyss of all these pages and my fears. Have I just wasted all these years? I'm so uncertain. It does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. I know whereof I speak, and I cannot forgive myself for not embracing my truest wealth.
Come on, Jo. You know what it is.
The truest form of magic isn't really magic, it's love. The truest form of wonder isn't
does not do it, does not do it, does not do it.
The truest form of happiness is neither schmaltz nor sappiness, but love.
It does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live.
You don't need to read a Hogwarts letter to know you have the magic to imagine better.
I don't need to read a Hogwarts letter to know I have the magic to imagine better.
Daddy, I'm bored.
Hello? Yes, Miss Rowling. Just a moment, Michael. No, not you, Miss Rowling. Oh, never mind. For whom are you calling? Yourself, I see. Potter? I believe we do have it. Yes, it arrived last week. Chapters 1 through 5. But, Miss Rowling, I must warn you, as you are a new author and it's our busiest time of year, you won't be given the same priority. Bloomsbury thanks you for your interest, and we will be in touch. Hi, honey. How's it going?
1 hour later.
Everything all right, sweetie?
Where's the rest of it?
The rest of what?
His story! The boy's in the cupboard, and he's so alone. And the Dursleys, they won't feed him, let alone love him. Is a snake? Does a snake ever make it back to Brazil? And the cat, is a cat a person, or is it a cat? And Daddy, these are the questions that I need answers to!
Which book is this, sweetie? We can head down to the stores and see if we can find you a sequel.
I found it on your desk.
Harry Potter.
Yes, that's him. Harry Potter. And he has friends. Older friends. And one of them rides a motorbike.
Sorry to tell you this, my love, but I don't think I can get you more of this unless I agree to publish it.
Oh, but Daddy, then you have to publish it. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's got riddles, adventure, and magic. I'm spastic, so enthusiastic. I need to see what happens next to young Harry.
Another hour later.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's lighthearted, profound, and climactic. I'm erratic and not to be dramatic. But please, Miss Rowling, let us publish the whole damn thing. Miss Rowling, we have but one concern. Yes, we anticipate our target audience to be young boys, and they may not read a book by a female author. Perhaps a pen name? My name's Joe. You could use your initials. Well, I don't have a middle name, but I could use my grandmother's. Kathleen. Fantastic. All that's left to do is to sign on the dotted line. J.K. Rowling.